Good morning. You're listening to First Talk with Hal Rowe on WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. Here it is, 2025, the first official Chamber Chat for 2025. Lindsay Kiesler joins us this morning, president of your Catawba County Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber, and is going to tell us what's going on with the Chamber, and also extend an invitation for us this morning. Nice to have you with us.
Happy New Year, Hal.
Happy New Year to you, ma'am.
Always great to see you.
Good to see you as well. So tell us what's happening with the Chamber, and there were some other things that you wanted to do this morning. You want to extend an invitation. We'll talk about that whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. And this is just a great opportunity as we lean into a new year, new possibilities, kind of a clean calendar, even though mine's filling up. I don't know about yours, but it's just a great opportunity, number one, to look back and really position my thoughts and my comments in a position of gratitude to those that have partnered with the Chamber, have invested in fueling our mission and impact on behalf of the local business community. The work that we were able to accomplish in 2024, I look back and really stand in a position of gratitude just to say thank you for the opportunity, number one, to serve you in this role, but number two, thank you for your trust and your annual partnership, and continue to renew that in order for us to be able to do the work that we do on behalf of the business community.
Well said, ma'am. Yeah, a position of gratitude. You know, sometimes I think we don't thank those folks, sometimes in our industry or whatever industry, that continue to put meals on our tables, that continue to help us pay our mortgage. They invest in the company or whatever business you may work in.
That's right.
And to be able to thank those folks for doing business with you, because there's a lot of choices out there.
There are a lot of choices. And you know, listeners out there may not realize that the Chamber is a nonprofit organization. We are not government funded. Actually, local government partners with the Chamber and invest just like another business would, but we are fully funded through voluntary investment of the business community.
How about that? Did not know that.
And so it is, it's just every day I wake up and think, first of all, number one, what are the most pressing issues impacting the business community? And I've received that through one-on-one conversations and through whether it's surveys, but really, it really comes just from sitting across, a cup of coffee with a business owner, just asking those questions of, what's keeping you up at night? What's bothering you? And so that's how, and of course, our board is incredible visionaries that understand, representing multiple sectors and size of business, just to make sure that we are remaining valuable and relevant to those that we serve, which is the businesses of Catawba County. And, it's your choice to say, hey, the Chamber is a valuable service for me. Hey, the Chamber, I can really see that they're working hard on my behalf. And, they are putting out programming and resources that are relevant to me in addressing those key issues. And so at the end of the day, it's voluntary. In the pursuit of value and relevance, what I say to my team, our pursuit of being a valuable and relevant resource is a daily pursuit. It's a daily pursuit.
Again, well said. I think that's something that maybe we don't consider every single day, but glad you do. Glad you think about that and you bring that to the Chamber. And
so looking back and be in that position of gratitude, but also in a new year, looking forward, right? And having kind of that, I always say, that expectant hope of what's to come. And I imagine many of you who are listening have thought, and maybe Hal, I'm sure you too, have thought about what do you want to accomplish this year, personally or professionally. And my personal mantra is better today than yesterday.
Right, that's very good.
And it's just that incremental growth mindset of how can I continue to sharpen my saw and hone in to be a better leader of myself, of my family, but also where I put my feet, where I show up every day. How can I make a better impact? And it doesn't have to be big changes, right? Leaps and bounds. It could be small incremental changes. And so, as we look ahead, I was reminded yesterday of an analogy that Stephen Covey has used. And he says that we're driven.
Now that's 7 Habits guy, right?
Yes, that's the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Many of our school systems use the Leader in Me curriculum still, which really instills those 7 habits of highly effective people. But he says that we're driven often by 2 things. We're driven, but they're often at odds with one another. So a clock is our schedule, the demands on our time. I mentioned earlier that my calendar was already filling up. And, it's the things that we have to do,
right?
The things that we're obligated to. But then also that other part of us is the compass. And our compass is our internal desires and those goals that we've all, written down and reflected on over the last several weeks. So our compass is really our heart and what we want to accomplish. The clock is our schedule and how that materializes every day. And so often, if you're like me, Hal, those two are often at odds, right? And then sometimes we have margin built in our schedule, and it maybe is filled with things that are a distraction versus things that we could be doing towards that goals, compass, towards those goals and desires. And so we're constantly challenged to balance the two, to have alignment between the clock and the compass. And so my challenge this morning would be really to ask you, as you're out there potentially driving to your commute, to your compass and to achieve your compass, is what's a choice that you can make today? What's one choice that you can make today that makes progress towards your compass, but also considering your clock? Putting first things first is something that Stephen Covey always says. What are those big rocks that you could do first, and then allow some other things to filter in as well and find their place. But being intentional about focusing on those professional goals. And, if maybe some of those professional goals are making more connectivity with fellow business leaders or fellow professionals in this community, maybe to accomplish some of your professional goals, it would be beneficial to be able to get out and about and grow some brand awareness and expand your professional network. If that's the case, or maybe another goal and desire for you and your company is to say, hey, we're making a difference here in what we're doing. We're making a difference in our customers' lives. But how can I use my resources, whether it's, part of your clock, whether it's part of your schedule, your time, or your expertise, to lean in and make a difference that's bigger than yourself, that's bigger than your company, that leans into our community and makes a difference in our greater community across Catawba County. And so if that's it, then I invite you to consider the Chamber as a part of that strategy this year, as a part of leaning in to those particular desires and goals. And so, Hal, I told you before we came on that I don't always make an invitation, and I should do it more often. And you told me you should do it more often. But if you've never been invited to partner with the Chamber, consider this your invitation. We'd love to have you partner with us. We do consider our partners. You won't hear me say members as much as some of my colleagues across the country do, because we consider our relationship with you as a partnership. Your influence is necessary for us to be able to do the things that we do. So again, thank you, and consider this your invitation.
Thank you very much, Lindsay Kieser. Wow, that's a great way to start the year. I just listening and thinking about what you brought to us. Think about that just those few minutes. Thank you very much. Really made a difference.
Thanks always for the opportunity, Hal.
Lindsay Kieser, President of your Catawba County Chamber of Commerce, the Chamber.